Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the Tier 2 blue emote to the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, and if you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. Hello, Lashbrook. I am blown out, and so I am going to adjust my webcam, which I did do earlier, but apparently that change didn't save. So there we go, apply that, and it's better. I am still blown out like this because of my overhead lighting, but it's still better than the alternative, which is just worse than this. So, or having terrible overhead lighting, which I don't want either. For whatever reason, I can't see the list of people in the chat, so I'm going only by the number. So if you are here and you want to get yourself known, you can throw your name in the chat. It's a Thursday, and I'm working on the Gustav Karl Type 00 high grade, which will go to the overhead camera and take a look-see. There it is. We've got our upper part of the kit built here. We've got some of the waist worked on. Hey, Lord Crashington, happy to have you here. We have the legs done. We are going to finish the waist. We are going to work on the shield and the weapons. And then this kit is kind of done. We might start the next kit. I'm kind of not sure what's going to happen here, but we'll have a good time working on this thing and getting everything together. We'll throw this stuff aside and work on the waist here. I hit 90 subscribers on Tuesday. Obviously, gifted subs, many gifted subs. Will all of those people stick around? Of course not. Will some of those people stick around? Statistically, yeah, a few. And that went really well. It was a really good stream. Thank you to everybody that came by the Tuesday stream. It was a good time. I don't want to say it flew by, but I will say that to me, I didn't feel a dip in anything as I was doing it. It felt like consistent. I was like, yeah, all right, this feels good. This feels right. I'm having a good time with this. You know what? I will say this. I made a mistake. I felt that I was incredibly prepared for Tuesday's stream. And I was ready for anything. Except I didn't think about the fact that if everything went to plan, I was going to build a model kit and then build a Lego set back to back, which I did. And I didn't have any news stories or anything to talk about. I could have scrambled some stuff together, but I didn't have anything. So I just talked about the process of building, and I was like, well, now I got to build a Lego set, which was faster than the model kit because I didn't run any trouble like I did with the model kit. But I was like, oh, it didn't occur to me, which is silly. This is silly of me to say, but it did not occur to me that I should plan some stuff to talk about when building a model kit, which is a lesson I learned I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I learned that lesson pretty quickly, that eventually I'm going to run out of things to say, and then I'm just going to be reaching for stuff and then hoping there's conversation in the chat. And there was some very good conversation. So I did have things to talk about, but I was not prepared for that. And that is silly that I did not prepare topics of conversation. Overall, there are things that I learned from that stream that were good. Well, let's say, yeah, If I'm tasked with talking about anime, I will talk about anime. The trail off from a raid is a huge jump right away. There are people that weren't paying attention, and suddenly a raid happened, and they weren't necessarily interested in that, and so they dip quickly. And then over time, people do find other things to do, or it's important to remember I only stream for 2 hours, right? So for some of y'all, wherever I'm going, it's yeah, this is still my evening, or this is still my late night, whatever. But if you've been watching like Gersman talk from 11 a.m. until like 4 p.m. Eastern time, of course, or 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's 3 hours, not 11. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then you might be like, well, I was there for 3 hours, and now I've been here for an hour and a half. I'm gonna go. Like, totally understandable. And the folks that bail immediately is also completely understandable. I have no ill will to them. It's a different vibe, it's a different thing. For some folks, it's just like, well, Sebmal's streaming, and because he streams after Jeff's Tuesday stream, so I'm gonna go hang over there. It's like, yeah, of course, have fun, do your thing. I got no ill for it, but it is a thing that I have to like be aware of, in the same way that my sub numbers are going to go down a little bit because there were some people that gifted subs a little before other people, and then they're going to drop. Like, my number is going to drop a lot because of all the gifted subs. And it's like, yeah, of course. And like, I know that intellectually, but like, I still also have to remember that is a thing that is going to happen, and then to like be aware of that and not get bummed the fuck out. I'm curious about how many games he can rank for his new 64 streams, or if he'll go a bit longer to fit in more. So my guess is that he will be doing that. I don't think he's going to do a longer stream. My guess, and I have no confirmation of this, my guess is that Jeff is just going to be doing, like, it's just going to take longer, which you have to remember is good. Like, part of Jeff talking on, I don't want to put words in Jeff's mouth, right? I don't know this to be true for sure. My assumption is that on Wednesdays, he started doing the bonus podcast, not just to have more stuff for the Patreon or people that were live, but also so that he didn't have to fill 3 hours with video games, because only a certain kind of game is a game that you play in front of other people and all of that. And then he just has Friday where he can just do whatever. And that, to me, makes so much sense. And it'll just take a very long time for him to get through all those games. I don't think he's going to stream more. Yes, he will have more streams than NES, yes. It will take him longer to go through the N64 library than the NES library. He has years of streams to come, which is good. Because then now he doesn't have to. Now he only has to think about, what am I doing? Which games am I going to try to look at this Friday? He does not have to think about, what am I doing on Friday? Having the Dragon's Dogma 2 playthrough was because he wanted to play Dragon's Dogma, but also it's now a thing. Like, oh, that's every Friday. I just do that. And he did that for a while. And now it's like, and then the NES thing came up, and it became a thing that he's just like, okay, this is my Fridays. And now he has one stream a week where he doesn't know week to week what he's going to do. Yes, he'll have to play a bunch of games. We're now at the point where he's going to play games that he reviewed, which is interesting. I find that fascinating. That is a thing that's going to come up. But anyway, enough about Jeff for now anyway. More about me and my thoughts on Tuesday. My voice held out. This was the longest stream that I have ever done. It was over 5 hours, which is a lot of hours. Yes, there are many Mario parties that he will be playing the solo version of, and maybe play against the CPU. But again, yes, enough about that. There'll be plenty of years to talk about that. But yeah, I thought it was a fun stream. I didn't play a moment of Dorf Romantic. I will have to fix that in July. I will have to play Dorf Romantic and look at the DLC. Not only because I want to play it, but also because they did send me a code for that DLC, and I would like to stream it. I'm glad I didn't advertise too much about Dorfromantic. That was the game I was going to play while I waited for subs to come in. I did not have to wait for subs to come in. I do like to start with like 30, which I knew we would hit because we were close. I knew we would get to 30 either before the stream, which we did, or at worst, early in the stream, we would hit that. So that I like to do that low number. I used to start with a higher number, but I like doing that because it's just like, okay, well, now I'm going to do something that I said I would do for the stream right away, and that feels nice. I like that. And then it turns out, I did not have to worry too much about anything. I'm even hit my goal. I'll say this. Thank you to Dirty, who did gift those last subs. Was it Dirty? Ooh, shit. I don't remember who the last subs were. I can look it up. Yes, it was. I can look it up. Thanks. Dirty gifted 10 subs right at the end, which got us to me bringing back 404ing it on July 21st. I'm grateful to him for pushing me over the finish line. I was okay with that, by the time I finished the model kits, drank that beverage, and then ate dinner and checked out Fallout 4, I was like, I'm kind of content here. We can close on Fallout 4, and I'm feeling pretty all right about that. But then we hit that, so I'm bringing back 404ing it, and I'm very grateful to be able to do that. I have most of one segment done. I have a month. I have less than a month, but I have about a month to finish that up. And I have less than one segment. And to me, a segment is 10 minutes. And I want this stream to be over an hour, but it won't be 2 hours. So I think it'll be an hour and a half. So I'm going to need to figure that out, because that means 9 segments. And of course that's give or take, right? But 9 segments is a lot if I'm doing a solo, because remember, 404ing it as a panel was an hour, and it was about 20 minutes of me presenting things, and then 30 to 40 of my guests presenting things. So there will be no guests. This will be a solo version. Could I figure out a way to have guests on? Possibly, but that introduces so much extra nightmare material that I don't want to deal with. At that point, I might as well be producing the show and not running it myself. I would need someone to be doing logistics and all that, and I just don't think that's likely. No more pictures of hidden Wii U games at PAX. Yes, I can't do a what's going on at PAX segment, which I also stopped doing. I've talked about this before, but I can say it again. Early on, 404ing it had a lot of segments that were gamer-centric. And that was not a request by anyone. That was specifically because I didn't want my contacts at PAX to hear anything from Twitch. Because at the time, Twitch was trying to squash anything that made people think of Justin TV. Twitch was the place where people play video games. IRL wasn't a category. Eventually they would fully embrace people doing painting and model kit building and all kinds of things, right? But at the time, they weren't doing that. They were, I put this on too soon. What am I doing here? They were focused more on the gaming stuff. So I made sure that I did some stuff like jokes about the venue, jokes about, finding finding any Wii U games, anything I could think of that was gaming related, whatever I could do to make it about video games. I would make at least one of my segments, if not both of my segments, about video games. I did recommendations. If my stream was on the second day, I would go and play indie games and then recommend them. now that I think about it, I'm like, that's so strange that I did that. And then eventually I stopped caring about that. One, because I had done it long enough that even if Twitch was like, we don't like this show that they put up, I would just record it and not live stream it, and it would be okay. If Twitch like didn't want, which, and then I also realized Twitch doesn't give a shit. PAX is just like they have a deal. It was like they had a deal. It was fine. They did not care about that stuff. They were happy for big things that would draw, but like they didn't give a shit about stuff at my level. So that was not an issue that I needed to worry about. I figured that part out, and then also I figured out, oh well, the people that run PAX for, for Reed Pop like me a lot. And I'm okay if the fire alarm went off, not at 404ing it, right? But League of Heels, we had to evacuate the panel room, and we still got to do stuff. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, I wasn't like, oh, I'm bulletproof, I can do whatever I want. But I was like, well, I can do what I said I'm going to do, and I don't have to placate people, and I don't have to compromise or play the game in order to do what I want to do here. I can just do the things that I think are going to work well. And you know what? I don't regret the photos. Like, some of the segments I did, I actually think are fun, that were like more gamer focused, more PAX focused. PAX South, that one hall that has all of the bronze statues, and I acted like I was posing with cosplayers. That bit, I stand by that bit. That's a good bit. And I was like taking selfies with them. Like, that's a good bit. I think that works. We showed because it came out that day. I did one of the 404 against, which is not in the archive because, I mean, the Pokemon Company was mad at me. I showed the trailer for Detective Pikachu, where Pikachu has a voice and is talking in human language. Because what the fuck? I was like, well, I've got to show this. Like, I had nothing to do with anything I was doing, but I was like, hey, have we all seen this shit? One time, there was the panel where I had a photo of the line for the one kiosk for Sonic 4 Part 1 or whatever. And that insane line, and how I said, like, hey, I don't know about you, but I'm out of touch, because why is one of the longest lines I've ever seen at PAX for Sonic 4? And then there were people in the crowd that were like, oh shit, like they were like, didn't know there was a kiosk. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, there was some stuff that I stand by, but for the most part, it was just like, all right, whatever. No, Sonic 4 was it Sonic 4 Part 1 or Volume 1? Sonic 4 PAX? Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. Oh, sorry. This was Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2. No. Was it 2010? One of the episodes for Sonic the Hedgehog 4, they had a demo at PAX. Yeah, fucking 15 years ago. PAX East, Sonic 4, Episode 2. I was wrong. Episode 1 was 2010, which is before I went to PAX. 2012, I was going to PAX East to present. And yes, there was a Sonic 4, Episode 2 hands-on at PAX East. That was the episodic fourth Sonic game. It's fine that you don't remember, but I remember feeling very out of touch because that was a hit on the show floor, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Um, anyway, I'm going to bring back 404ing it, and that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy that I'm going to bring back 404ing it. I have considered doing a solo version, stream version before. That did not come up in planning. This was, if I had hit 90 subscribers in February, because I did have one person ask me this, in February, if I had hit 90 subscribers, I would have unlocked 404 again. I would have brought it back. I didn't hit 90 subscribers. And so this time around, I said, well, I'm going to tell people that's what happens when I hit 90 instead of keeping it a surprise, because that could move the needle. I thought Pat's going to bring something back. He's hinting at it. I don't know what it is. That intrigue would be enough. It wasn't in February. So because it wasn't, I was like, I am now going to put it out there. And if it doesn't hit 90, I was like, okay. Like, I don't have to bring it back. I might bring it back. You know, I might have brought it back a different time. I also have no plans to be at any conventions in the near future. If I do go to a convention and it's PAX, I wouldn't bring back 404ing it. I would do Pat Baer's Anime Club, or I would do improvised postmortem. I also would not do League of Heels. As I said on Tuesday, League of Heels requires a man that has his own small business, a successful small business, by the way, but a small business nonetheless, to dedicate a bunch of time. And then, of course, Jeff was like, well, we should just do it there without him knowing, which the second part I didn't think about. But the first part, it's one of those things where I'm like, well, if it was around a convention and we could get people there, which is the funniest fucking thing to talk about San Diego, because there is an incredibly popular convention that happens there, right? Games don't really happen there, but like there is a convention. It's just the problem is that Aaron will be unbelievably busy at San Diego Comic-Con. That is people go to that comic shop for signings and meet in like meetups, and sometimes people just go there because they like want to buy from a local. Like, Aaron's going to be real, and he's also going to be on the show floor looking for deals. So like, I'm not going to run a fucking League of Heels. Now, the idea of doing a live stream unrelated to an event out of his work, like say, hey, if you want to come to this, you can, and have like an audience there. I don't know how we would plan this. I don't know how we would do this. And then we would live stream it for people, and the majority of people would be there watching it live, but there would be a number of people that would be there in the audience. Like, that has occurred to many of us before. But again, that requires Aaron to have a bunch of time and energy that I feel awful to ask him for. Also, I'd have to get to San Diego, and that's not going to happen. If I make a trip this year, if I make a trip anywhere in the near future, it's New York for personal reasons. For professional reasons, I will go where people are paying me to go, or paying for me to go, I should say. So if that is PAX Unplugged again, because there has been some sort of deal made for me to be there, then you could see me there. If it is on my own personal dime, shit is just not happening. I'm not going anywhere that isn't New York. Yes, just do 404 and get at San Diego Comic-Con. Famously easy to get panels there. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I know there was somebody who's being like, a friend of mine. So this is a friend of mine who doesn't know. Just said, have you ever pitched Pat Baer's Anime Club to Anime NYC or New York Comic Con? That could be a way for you to get to New York. And I was like, there exists a possibility that Anime NYC would consider me as someone there. New York Comic Con, no, that is just out of the question. That is not happening. Anime NYC is also pretty much out of the question. Maybe FlameCon would take a Pat Bear's Anime Club, instead of yelling about the shows we love, Pat Bear's Anime Club Live, the shows that made us queer even if we didn't know it. That is a panel that I have pitched, and at one point seemed like I was going to be doing at a FlameCon, and then it didn't work out, and then COVID happens, and now I don't go to conventions. But that was a thing, that there was a conversation that happened at one point that looked like it was, I don't want to say like possible, but it was like, okay, a consideration was made. Again, nothing came of it. But yeah, final thoughts. I mean, I'll talk more about it, I'm sure, as things come up. My voice was definitely shot. I'm glad I didn't do karaoke, because that would have really wrecked my voice. It was already pretty shot. I had a good time on stream, hanging out. I'm glad people showed up. I'm glad people were willing to hang out. It was a fun time. And I'm glad that I got to show off dumb shit in Fallout 4. Because I have fun doing dumb shit in Fallout 4. And now also, I don't have to worry, because let me be honest with you folks. I didn't think that it partially didn't work. You may remember there was a part where the game was running and my other monitor was frozen and I couldn't see chat. And I was like, oh, is this shit fucked? And it wasn't fucked, but it was weird. There was a point where it kind of didn't work, but it did work eventually. These are the beam saber holders, and they are hilts, and they live in the side skirts, which is cool. That's a cool thing that these live there. We're putting them in. Now we're gonna encase them in other pieces. I guess they open up that way. H and F. Our last H's. Not our last F. Some of our last F's. F, 14, and 14. So yeah, I had a really good time. I'm glad people came. I'm glad people stuck around. I'm glad people gifted subs. I'm glad people seemed to have a good time. It was fun talking model kits and talking origin stories and talking Lego stuff and hanging out, showing off weird mods. Showing that video, that VHS tape that was sent to arcades from Capcom, where they casually drop, oh yeah, we're making a sequel to Street Fighter, because Street Fighter was a hit. And you're like, fuck yeah. You thought that was a hit. God damn. You're about to make the game of your fucking company's future. Right there. That's fun. That was a fun bit of business. Look at those things. And then also to look at Tony Hawk on a goddamn skateboard and a half pipe at Gamescom. Yes, and then make it 4 more times. Indeed, Lashbrook. Some people say some say they're still making Street Fighter 2 to this day. All right, let's. So these, I think these open. Yes, these open up, and then you can take out the beam saber, which is cool. That's cool shit. But we won't probably do that. But we will panel line this little thing. So yeah, that was really fun. I'll be back in the end of January, beginning of February with another one of them. Good times. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to go through the good news in gaming first. There are some good news. We're going to do some updates. Some good updates. One head scratcher update, which we can laugh at. And then we'll get into the bad news. Here's some good news. This game is not expensive. I actually want to see how much it is. Hold on. There's a game that's not expensive. Mecha Chameleon, which has sold 7 million copies in 2 weeks. This game is $6 US. They updated on Sunday, June 21st, that they had sold 7 million copies. That's fucking crazy. If you have not seen Mecha Chameleon, it is the new group streamer game of choice at the moment. You are a little guy, and you are playing hide and seek with friends, and there are some weird looking worlds, and you can hide in that world and paint yourself to try to blend in with the environment. And various objects, and there's like a backrooms kind of style area, and like a banquet hall, and a farm, a bunch of stuff. And then there's always somebody who's it, and they're trying to find people and shoot them with a gun. And when you get shot, you become part of the people who are it, and you are looking to find everyone. As you get close over time, you start getting more points if people are getting close to you and can't find you, but then also you can kind of clip through the environment sometimes. And then also there's like a sound that plays to hopefully give a little bit of help if you're hidden too well. You can also run away and try to hide again. People don't know that when you get shot at and they miss and then someone starts running. That is very funny because people are like, wait, you could just do that? And it's like, yeah, you can just run away. It's pretty great. We are almost body complete on our chunky boy here. We are now. Come on. Anyway, this game is fun. I don't think it's going to be like. I don't think people are going to be playing it like in 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, I think there'll be some like nostalgia. Let's play all together. But if you got a multiplayer crew, my friends are going to be. My multiplayer crew is going to play this weekend. We have. I have not bought my copy yet, but it has been scheduled. I believe there are at least 4 of us right now ready to play this thing, and we'll see how it goes. But it's a good dumb time. And they sold 7 fucking million copies. In 2 weeks. Game hit 5 million copies 2 days before that. Has over 13,000 reviews. It launched on June 10th and sold 5,000 copies in 2 days. It seems to have also done very well internationally because it does not require much. It was translated in a bunch of languages. Also, should point out, does not have an AI disclosure. Seemingly, AI was not used in the making of this game. It also does not, so far, hasn't had accusations of AI use. So, great. We love that. Pretty cool. All right, let's build this shield with with one of our last marking sticker. But a big old sticker has got to go on here. We need D223. So that's great news. Here's another news story that's awesome. 34 big things, which is all one word. The number's 34 big things, has been debraced. The Italian studio is now fully independent, and they are no longer part of the Embracer Group. As this is this story was written up in Game Developer, and Game Developer is usually very even-handed, but even they took a shot at Embracer Group. When fucking Game Developer is taking a shot at you, something's up. Italian studio 34 Big Things has regained its independence from layoff tycoon Embracer Group. Again, reasonable, understandable, shots fired by fucking GameDeveloper.com. They've acquired 100% of the company's shares from the Swedish conglomerate Embracer. They were acquired in 2020. They are now the second largest independent video game studio in Italy. Congratulations to them. They are 70 employees, and they are run by their co-founder. They're in Torino. Turning to full independence gives us absolute autonomy to shape our structure, our projects, and our development approach. It's refreshing to be steering our own ship once again. And they had some other stuff to say. Congratulations to them. That fucking rules. Good luck to those folks. They made Carmageddon, Rogue Shift, and Rat Out 2. I know about one of those games. So I'm happy for them. Congratulations on their debracing. I hope for many more debraces. And another update as we get into some of our updates here, or closing in on some of the updates and good news segment. Magic the Gathering Arena developers have voted to unionize. That is happening. What is this piece? Sorry, I've just realized. I did miss a piece. One of the reasons why this chest didn't look right is because I didn't do this piece needs to go on here. Sorry, I will not talk about this. Obviously, the Wizards of the Coast folks did not want this union to happen. They were very much opposed to it. They definitely did some underhanded garbage shit in order to try to keep this from happening, but it did happen. The Magic Gather Arena developers had a National Labor Relations Board vote as part of the CWA. And they're, of course, looking for assurances on not using generative AI, layoff protections, transparency around compensation, and more. Also, there was some removals of work from home initiatives. And basically, when people were like, hey, when you hired me 2 years ago, you said this would never happen. And HR was just like, you don't have to work here. Which is a great way to get people excited about unionizing. You fucking dumbasses. They did attempt to get voluntary recognition, which they did not get. They were not expecting to, but they certainly did not get that voluntary recognition. And of course, they met with some definite attempts to keep them from properly organizing. They voted. Majority of participants voted in favor of that. Petitions, letters, and all that. It's awesome. Now on to negotiations. These things are never easy. Good luck to all of these folks. But yeah, congrats on more video game workers unionized. You'll love to see it. Ryan Cohen. You may remember Ryan Cohen. He's the CEO of GameStop. He's, by all accounts, a fucking dumbass. When he became the CEO of GameStop, it was under the brilliant idea that he was like, look, I won't take a salary when I become CEO. But when I make us a certain amount of money and when I boost the value, you'll give me $35 billion. And they were like, sure, become the CEO, dumbass. And his big idea, one of his big ideas for making that bank is to buy eBay. And eBay was like, no. And you may remember that they said no in a brutal way, where they said this attempt was neither credible nor attractive. Now apparently he realizes he's not getting that fucking $35 billion. He's not going to hit the deadline from that. He's given up on that. But he hasn't given up the dream of buying eBay. He did take the bonus thing off the table. It was apparently his call to be like, hey, let's just forget about all that. That's not going to happen. When the board approved the CEO Performance Award in January 2026, the company had not yet decided to pursue acquisition of eBay. Mr. Cohen stated he wants leadership fully focused on GameStop's operating performance and its proposed eBay acquisition. So basically he's like, hey, this whole thing about me making a bunch of money for the company and therefore them paying me out a bunch of money, let's like table that for now and let's focus on what's really important. Us buying eBay. He hasn't given up on wanting to buy eBay. It's fucking so fucking funny. It's hard to understand how this would how it would increase the company's like value. It's just like weird. It's so weird. Also, reminder: eBay does not want to be purchased by GameStop because they're like they don't have the money or intent or credibility. What are we talking about here? Fucking nightmare. This dude. If he wasn't the CEO of a company that was laying people off left and right and still had a lot of employees who were left in the lurch with his fucking stupidity, it would be incredibly funny. It's still funny. It just would be funnier if he wasn't fucking up so many people's lives in his pursuit of just being a colossal dumbass. I don't know how you fucking fix GameStop, but I think you start with having a different CEO. I think that is a given. All right, I have to put this sticker on. I got real quiet there. This sticker doesn't. There's no guideline. There's no guiding lines for this. It's just me. I feel okay about where this ended up. I'm going to use the toothpick here to smooth this out. Is this perfect? No. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Which one? Man, I got two stories here, and they are both awful. Both these stories. Let's do the smaller one, the smaller of the two nightmares. The starting August 1st, the 512 gigabyte Xbox console is going to go up $100, and the 1 terabyte is going up $150, and they're going to stop making the 2 terabyte. It's so hard to get those that they were like, let's just not do a 2 terabyte because it's going to cost so much that it's not worth making. This is the Series X. 1 terabyte is going to $800 with the drive. The X 1 terabyte all digital is going to $750. The Series S 512 gigabyte is going to be $500, and the S 1 terabyte is going to be $600. And they cited the reason for this increase being storage and memory, which has increased 2.5 times since the last time increased in October, and the company expects it to double once again, more in the fall of 2020, by the fall of 2027. So this is not the last time that this console will be more expensive. Also, look, them increasing the price, yeah, PlayStation's going to do it again. Nintendo might do it again. Like, shit's going to keep happening. It literally is going to keep happening. These consoles are going to be more and more expensive. That is just a reality that we live in. The thing that wasn't necessarily expected anyway is that they are doing a fucking payment program. A buy now, pay later service. Which is not the first time that Microsoft has done this. They've tried this before. It's just now with this console, this is the first time they're doing it. You can buy Xboxes through its Microsoft stores and break up payments in interest-free installments. Amazon is also offering up to 12-month financing with flexible monthly payments for things, and that is also our new fucking reality. That, do you ever like see a thing where you're like, I'm gonna buy dinner tonight through an app, and they're like 4 easy payments of $7 or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Yes, they totally had an installment plan for the series that came with the Game Pass. Yes, Lashbrook. That was towards the tail end of the series, Series S. Or no, not the series. They did do that with the last generation towards the end of it, and they have done this before. It's now kind of getting expanded because it is now going to be not select models, it's going to be the whole thing. And you're going to see more and more of this. You are just going to see more and more of this across console makers. But yeah, we're hitting the point now where I'll say this. If you are buying a $800 Xbox Series X 1 terabyte with a disk drive, and Microsoft says you can do a payment plan for this, yeah, I mean, shit, fuck, but also, yeah, do it. Consider it. See what the terms are. See how long that it is. What the payments are like. Finance your game console. Whew, it's rough. It's rough out here. Yeah, if there's no interest, you're right. If there, fine print, right? If there's interest, if you miss payments, if there is interest after some certain amount of years, if you can't pay, if you can't pay above a certain amount, they set the amount and it's not flexible. There's things to look at here, right? There are things to consider with this, but it ain't the end of the world. It's crazy, but it doesn't sound unreasonable. Also, the 2 terabyte model used to cost $800 with the disk drive, and so they just didn't make that more expensive. They're just getting rid of it, and I don't think that's a bad idea. And finally, 292 so far employees at Sony have been laid off. And I say Sony because they are not exclusively Bungie employees within Sony. There also have been people who are part of the support teams. These were Sony employees, like let's say, for example, I'll give you an example here. I don't know if it's true. There were probably people at Sony who were on payroll, and their focus was Bungie payroll, helping out Bungie with payroll. Well, Bungie's now gutted, so we don't need that person to work on that. Oh, turns out we have more people we need in that, so we're just going to lay that person off as well. But 292 people laid off so far. Most of the Destiny 2 team was gutted. Many people on the Marathon team gutted. They've known for 2 years that Destiny was winding down, and they didn't have anything winding up. And that's negligence on a leader. That's leadership negligence. Of course, none of those leaders are gone. All those leaders are there. They are now down to around 500 or less employees at Bungie. They had 1,300 at their peak. Sorry. I don't mean to yawn at this. A yawn happened. All departments and disciplines, the entire cinematic organization, he said the cinematics director, I am not going to fucking read Herman Holtz's statement. And how it's painful news when you fucking figure that shit out. It's just fucking crazy that they don't have now it could be they've worked on a lot of stuff that was ready to go. They've been working for years now on prototypes and drafts and pitches, and Sony has just been like, nah. That's totally possible. One might even consider that to be like literally what's going on there. I don't know. But it feels wild that you're like, I understand all hands on deck for Marathon, but at a certain point, you've got everyone working on Marathon, and you know that Destiny 2 is coming to an end, and you don't have the next Bungie game ready. Like literally right now, Bungie has Marathon content, and that's it? What are we fucking talking about here? The one game got spun off to form. Yes, Lord Crashington. They did have one game that they were working that Sony was like, this is not a Bungie game anymore. And again, that is a management decision. Management decided that an idea that Bungie pitched that they liked, Bungie doesn't get to do. And that is and they didn't insult us. You know, I also should say, a thing that you can say is, okay, here are some other pitches from internal teams. We think this is a winner. We'd like Bungie to work on this idea. Don't have them pitch something. You decide a thing that they're going to do. You decide, Sony, the next thing that Bungie's going to do. Instead, everybody just waited around to then lay off all this staff. This fucking sucks so much. Really fucking blows. Ugh. Yeah, just and then again, so a large portion of Bungie employees gone. And then also a bunch of people that were just in support roles, right? No, not moved on to something else. Like, oh yeah, you can go too. You're not part of it, but close enough. I have to put a sticker on this gun. Apologize. I have to put a sticker on this gun. And I gotta. Yeah, I know that I am yelling and I am in many ways preaching to the choir on this one with my wild ideas of management should be fucking punished for their goddamn mistakes, but and won't. But Jesus, bums me the fuck out. Ugh. All right, let me put a sticker on here. Unfortunately, management got a huge payday to sell to Sony and skipped away with no consequences for letting Bungie get to the state. Yes, Lord Crashington. On one hand, of course, yes, I am talking about people like Pete Parsons, but I am also talking about management at Sony who have done this to this studio. They will see no consequences for this. But yes, of course, there are people at Bungie management who sold and got their bonuses, and some left immediately, and some stuck around. Would those people have been still around at an independent Bungie all these years later? Maybe, maybe not. But yes, of course, management is going to manage, and that those managing moves are always in air quotes. Maybe they're not going to actually manage. Oh, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I don't have a lot of positive words about any of this stuff. I hope folks land on their feet. I do not think that. I hope folks find jobs outside of the games industry, and that is a shame. That is a damn shame for me to say that, but that is my feeling. I hope these folks land on their feet in jobs that are not for another game studio to then wait for the shoe to drop. Because this shit is fucked. It's just big time fucked. Building a different hand here to hold a gun. Hopefully, I can hold the rocket launcher or the bazooka in the other hand. I don't know. I don't know if I can, but hopefully, I can. Yeah. Obviously, big bummer. Don't love that. This shit is rotten to the core. There is an AEW pay-per-view that is happening on Sunday. I will dedicate some of Saturday's stream to talking about that as more matches get added to the card. I believe that there is still at least well, I'm not going to say what this. There was a spoiler. They taped Collision after, so there is a match that was added on Collision. That was announced on Collision that got added to the pay-per-view. A pre-show match, which has not been officially announced. So there's at least one that is not on the list right now, and then 9 matches on the main card, which feels about right. And so far, 1 announced pre-show, and then 1 that is announced on the Collision taping. So on Saturday, that'll get added, which is cool. All right, we got our machine gun here, or rifle, and now we're going to build a bazooka. And we're going to start a new model kit in the second hour. I did not know. I knew I was going to finish this tonight. I did not know how much time we would have left, but on the second hour, we will get started on another kit. I didn't also realize how many extra pieces I would have. I got a lot of extra parts on this from the previous Karl, which is fine. I'm fine with that. We do have one more sticker to add too. And we'll do all of that after the pause for the cause. Hello. Now is my opportunity to talk to you, the viewer, about ways you can support me, the streamer. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to help me out financially, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you can subscribe to me if you would like. You can subscribe to other people too, but, you know, subscribing to me helps me out. So if you want to do that, that will be rad. I'm sorry, I just have to check something real quick. Okay, I do have to do one thing here. Sorry. Okay. You get cool emotes. You don't see pre-roll ads. You don't see ads during the stream. It's neat. Sorry, I just had to send a message real quick. I'm done sending that message. I'm back fully focused now. You can also use your Prime Gaming sub if you have Amazon Prime. You can link with your Twitch. You get a token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use that token for me, that would be rad. I'd love that if you wanted to. You could gift a sub. You could throw some bits in. We've got many gifted many gifted subs happened, which is pretty cool. And I guess some people had a discount on those gifted subs, which is also pretty fucking cool. There are other ways to support me financially. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on the Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I just put a call out for questions for my $1, $3, $5, and $10 patrons for my monthly Q&A video, which only patrons get. I'm going to be recording that this weekend. I am looking for Qs. I got one Q today. I'm hoping to get a couple more. But yeah, seems like, you know, something I could answer over there. If you got a question, you want to be part of the Patreon, or you're already on the Patreon. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing over there. And if you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So if you want to see, you know, like I put up a new video on Tuesday, and you would have seen that before, or before other people had to wait till Wednesday to see it. So, you know, little bonus there. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you would like to throw something into the old bucket there, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal. So direct donations can go to that. And everything I make through direct donations, as I said, through Patreon, through Twitch, and through watching videos on my YouTube channel or being a member over there. All that money goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets. A variety of stuff. I have a backlog full of things I've been able to buy and some gear here and there. Now, this kit was bought by Chris. Thank you, Chris, for buying this kit that I am currently working on and almost done with. That was bought off my Amazon wish list. The next kit I'm going to be working on, which here's just a sprue from it. Suge's Gelgoog. I was able to buy that, or I didn't even buy that. That came because Harold bought that for me for my birthday. Thanks, Harold. If you would like to buy something for me to build and have that thing get its own dedicated YouTube video on my YouTube channel, or perhaps you're interested in the fact that it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing I work on, you can buy something from my Amazon wish list. I've got model kits and Lego sets. I have inexpensive things and expensive things. Transformers, Gundam, Lego, all kinds of things I'd be happy to work on. Inexpensive, very expensive. I used to be able to sort on my own. Now it just sorts however it wants to, but you can sort low to high price and find something like some gear that's pretty inexpensive, or a cheap Lego set or something. And that goes all the way up to unbelievably expensive. Please don't buy that for me. But it's on the list in case A lot of the things that are very expensive are on this list as a way for me to track the price over time and see if anything appears that is suddenly more reasonably priced, and then I will just go and grab it myself. I am tempted to buy a Steam Deck. I have a big a Stream Deck, not a Steam Deck. Sorry, a big Stream Deck. I have the six button Stream Deck. I have thought about buying the larger Stream Deck, which is currently on sale. It is a Prime Day deal, and I have considered it. I have not pulled the trigger because that's a lot of money, and my 6-button one still works. But I have considered it. Get that expensive keyboard with a Stream Deck built in, says Lord Crashington. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to do that either. But yeah, that's cool. But no, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to buy me that expensive Stream Deck, it's on my wish list. My alternative to my Amazon list, because it's nice to have alternatives, is I have a wish list on Throne. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. You can buy it from them. And then, of course, USA Gundam Store. The most complicated way to support me financially. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with a gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. Again, complicated way. People have done it. More people have done it than bought something off Throne, which is just a wish list like, it's weird. But yeah, like, more people are like, yeah, I'll buy a gift card and then have to message you. More people are into that than going to a totally accepted, trusted wish list provider. It's always interesting. Let's see. Something's going on here with... There's some kind of tracking thing where my no script won't let me look at my Throne list. So I'm like trying to figure out what it is. What thing is not being trusted right now that I'm like, okay, is it this? No. Is it this? No. I have now ran out of things to temporarily trust. Crazy. Okay, yeah, whatever. Can't look at it. But yeah, those are all ways to support me that cost money. If you want to support me and you don't want to spend any money, join my Discord. My Discord is full of cool people. We talk about stuff we're working on. And sometimes people post links in there of things they think I'd be interested in or other people in the Discord would be interested in. It's a nice little community. Jump in on the server if you want. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. The most recent episode was recorded live on Saturday on right here on Twitch, and it is my spring wrap-up summer preview. That's right. Taking a look at the anime that's coming up and the anime that had just happened. A couple shows have now ended since I recorded that. One show is a 13 episode. I didn't even realize I got another week of that damn thing. It's going to be great, though. But I got more of it. Which I didn't realize. But yeah, check that video out if you want some recommendations of stuff that's coming up. And then another video link for you to check out the most recent episode of Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Every week I put up something with a theme. The theme of June, because it's my birthday month, the theme was mech or mecha, because those are some of my favorite goddamn anime. And I was very happy to talk about Gundam 00, which is a Gundam series that I find to be often overlooked. It is the widescreen, first widescreen Gundam series. It's not Iron-Blooded Orphans, which was the modern classic for many people. The people that were sick after Seed kind of took a long break. And I think that people don't think about how good the mech designs are in Gundam 00. great names. I talk about in this video about celestial being just being what a fucking good name for a faction. It's just really great. I don't know. I was happy to talk about it in a video, and you should watch that because maybe you'll come away with a little bit more appreciation of Gundam 00 and how it's pretty fucking cool. Good plot, I always thought. Great character design, great mech design. There are adults in that story, which we don't always get these days or in those days. So that was nice. But yeah, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to drink some water because my turns out, voice is still a little strained from Tuesday. But I'm going to drink some water. We're going to go to the overhead camera, and then I'm going to talk about some goddamn anime. The last episode, for now, of a show, and the second last episode of another show. But before I can get into that anime talk, I need to drink some water. So we are going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera while I drink water. And we'll do that right now. Nice. All right. Episode 13, the last episode for this season of Witch Hat Atelier. There is a second season in development. Will it be in the winter of this year, of next year? Who knows? Some people were saying, oh, it's going to come out in the fall. Like they're already ready to do that and it'll come out in the fall. Other people are like 2027. No official word. Except that they're working on more. There's going to be more Witch Hat. Witch Hat was a international hit. It is a big deal and well received, and they're going to make more of it. When? We don't know. Episode 13. People have figured out, oh shit, this test is fucked. There are some of the students are in a test. Again, there is the witch that was there running the test gets teleported away by a brimmed cap. Things are kind of messed up. They realize shit's fucked. The cave ruins start to collapse and they fall into an abyss. An abyss. And Queefrey is injured and like gravely injured. It is not looking good. And that is obviously the strongest person in the crew. Meanwhile, the people that have been taking the test run into the brimmed cap and they just get fucking taunted. And they're like, what are you going to do? You're going to run? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen here? This shit's not going to work out for you at all. Which is, I would say, probably a fair assessment of how things are going to go here. Not necessarily great. Abyss should already have been the name of an anime. Well, Abyss. Abyss, yes. My stumble of words should already have been an anime. It says Lord Cratch or a shmup. Abyss should definitely be a bullet heaven game because it's so fun to play those. Richie, who was supposed to, this test was supposed to be like, hey, turns out if all you do is make your own original spells, you're limited in what kind of spells you can do. That was like, this test was supposed to help them understand this. Well, now they understand, oh shit, I'm limited in what I can do. But then it's just like, and Lee is like, oh, what if you can use some of my spells? This will help you. Agat makes the smart decision or smart realization. Hey, these fuckers are after Coco. Like this is again another thing where they're after Coco. Uh, and so basically, Agate like tries to goat them into like, like giving this thing up because this is just not going to work out. This is not going to work out for them. Um, uh, Agate gets captured, and the plan is apparently to lure Coco out by branding Agate with forbidden magic, which is just one of those things where I'm like, that's. I mean, I know that these are like twisted motherfuckers or whatever, but I'm like, that doesn't. This just seems highly unnecessary. This does not feel like a thing you need to worry about and need to be doing. But okay, I guess we're doing this. We do get to see some magic, and teamwork, and they disrupt it and save Agate from being branded. But that does lead to Inui. I don't know how to say the character's name. I keep saying it wrong. I know I'm saying it wrong. But he gets captured instead, and he gets transformed into a big wolf, like a big scaled wolf that looks pretty fucking cool, unfortunately. Obviously, it's a tragic and a nightmare that this is happening, but it does look pretty fucking badass. And, of course, runs away. Everyone's fucking freaked out. And then the brim cap that is likes to hide, we don't know their name, challenges them to like, hey, save your friend, revert the transformation. Agate is just like, if you finish the exam, you can get out of here. You'll auto be able to get out, and then we can get help. Like that's the best case scenario instead of us trying to do it ourselves, which is reasonable. Meanwhile, Tita, Coco, and Queefrey are they wake up. They are in this abyss, and they are confronted with the inhabitants of this cave that, you remember, magic destroyed it. And they hate witches. Understandably, they hate witches and what witches have done to them and their people, which is reasonable. And Queefrey, the season ends with him being like, all right, okay, I guess I'm making my last stand, but I'm going to protect them. Like, just ready to do battle, ready to burn things down, to go down in a blaze of glory. Obviously, things are going to get even more fucked up in season 2 whenever we get a season 2. God, this show is awesome. Coco is once again just... I hate that this show makes me like root for Coco and then also have so many moments of going, you really fucked this up for everybody, huh, Coco? Like, obviously, there's a bigger picture, and probably the person that showed that, she accidentally saw magic in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't an accident and that was on purpose, and it was designed to get Coco to, like, they like to plant the seeds in people and all of that because she's the chosen one or whatever dumb shit is going to come up to explain how this isn't her fault, that she's so obsessed with magic it's hurting so many people. But I do think this show rules, and there are so many times where I'm like, God damn it, Coco, you're fucking this up for everybody. It's really good. I got an episode of Marriage. Hey, episode 12 of Marriage Toxin, I thought was the end of the season. There's a 13th episode. I did not know that Marriage Toxin was getting 13 episodes. That rules. Again, completely and utterly unaware that we were going to get 13 episodes. Well, now wait. Now, Annie Chart Doesn't say there's going to be 13 episodes. Anychart says it's done at 12. Wikipedia said there was going to be a 13th episode, June 20th. I'm going to look this up now. Maybe one of these might be wrong. Marriage 13. Maybe I'm wrong. No. Okay, yeah, there is a preview. Okay. June 30th. Okay, yeah, all right, good. Next week. There is going to be one. There is going to be episode 13. Okay. I was like, wait, I'm confused. No. Yeah, so Anychart is it's fan run. They made a mistake. Okay. I was confused there. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. I need to talk about this first. Hey, check this shit out. I finished this model kit. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to take a photo of it right now. And in fact, we'll talk about episode 12 of Marriage Toxin on Saturday. I have made the decision. I'm not going to talk about today. On Saturday, I'll talk about episode 13, and I'll also talk about so I'll talk about episode 13 or episode 12, I should say, of Marriage Toxin. And I'll also talk about like at least one series that I've been watching that I haven't been watching weekly. I'll do like a recap. That I just blew myself Gundam. Yes. Because we're going to talk for a little bit, but I am going to wrap things up a little early tonight, earlier than normal, because my voice is kind of strange right now. So that way, Saturday, we start a brand new model kit, and we'll talk about Marriage Toxin then, and probably, like I said, one show that I've been watching. I'll kind of do that. And then more on Monday. Monday will be some manga and some other stuff that I've been kind of watching that I haven't talked about weekly. And then next Thursday, the last episode of Marriage Toxin and at least something else. And by Thursday, I might have a new show to talk about as well. And if not, by next Saturday, I definitely will. So I'm going to take a photo of this. Last night, my parents and I celebrated my birthday by going out to dinner. Got Mexican food, and it fucking ruled. There's a Mexican place I really like near me, and I got a big steak quesadilla, like a goddamn huge quesadilla with steak and cheese and peppers and onions, and Mexican rice on the side, and a little salad thing, and it was good. Fresh made salsa at the table and chips at the table, homemade chips, really good, just unbelievably tasty. Such a good birthday dinner, because we celebrated that on Thursday instead of on Wednesday, I should say, instead of on Tuesday, because I had my stream. Also, coincidentally, my parents had a dinner thing with some neighborhood friends on Tuesday, so it worked out perfect. Let's see if I can tilt this in. I want to try to get a little of this shield in the photo, but I can't because it doesn't really bend that way. So I can't really get the cool art on the shield, but whatever. Cool kit. And again, you can pull this up and you can pop this open to get at the beam saber if you want, but we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, I had a good time. It was a good birthday. I'm 46 now, and I won't talk about my birthday much other than, thanking people for hey, because I won't talk about this much either, the thing on Tuesday. Thank you all so much for your support on Tuesday. It means a lot to me. Those that gifted subs, those that subscribed, those that just came to hang out on Tuesday. That was very kind of you. If you're here because you raided with Jeff on Tuesday, thank you so much for that as well. I had a lovely time. I am sorry that I'm doing a shorter stream, but my voice is not fully recovered, and I'm also just getting more tired, and we're going to start a new model kit anyway. We can start fresh on Saturday with Suge's Gelgoog. I can show you. I can say that. I can get rid of the Karl, and here you go. Here's the Gelgoog. This is the Gym Gelgoog, or the GM. This is a big, good-looking gym style Gelgoog. It's weird. There are two Gelgoog kits. I have both of them. This one was bought by Harold, and so I will be starting that on Saturday. Yes, the Gym Gundam, or the GM, which is not the GM, it's the Gym. That's the proper way to call it. But yeah, that's the Gym Gundam. Of course, mobile suit. That. Whoops, wrong button. Sorry. But I'll start that on Saturday, and a rare inhale torso. Yeah, it's got some weirdness to it. It should be a fun kit to put together. I'm looking forward to it. I got a bunch of I should I also have a bunch of extra pieces from this Karl, which is cool. It is nice when you get some extra stuff for kit bashing purposes and the like. The difference between the Karl and the Karl Type 00 that this was. Got a bunch of extra sprues and stuff. Anyway, that's besides the point. But thank you so much for Tuesday. It meant a lot to me. I do owe people a stream where I check out the night mode and also the medieval DLC for Dorf Romantic. That'll be a stream in July. Next Tuesday, Mold Washer. Mold Washer came out this Tuesday, but of course didn't play it. But I will be playing it. I did receive a code for the game, so I will be playing it next Tuesday, and we'll talk about it then as we're playing. I really love that demo, so looking forward to that. First Tuesday in July will be the day that the next Hearthstone expansion comes out. And so there's theory crafting happening a bunch with some creators. I'm keeping an eye on the decks they like for theory crafting. So I'll have at least a couple decks to try out that Tuesday night, the day of the release. So we'll play with some new cards on that. And then the second Tuesday of the month will be Patreon's Choice. I'll have a bunch of options for that. Hopefully something that people are really excited to see. And then the 21st will be 404ing it. 404ing it, breaking down the internet. July 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern, a celebration of the good parts of the internet. My original flyer for the show. You can tell how old 404ing it is by the some modern and some ancient. Some of these memes were ancient when this got made, and some of them were pretty modern. It is like Trollolo guy. Trollolo guy is literally gets talked about in the first ever stage show of 404ing it at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. It was not that old then. And then of course there were some old memes in that photo. God. But I decided to resurrect the old one there. Star Wars Kid is still a big deal to me, damn it. Yeah. Damn straight, Lord Crashton said. But yeah, and then the final week of July, maybe Dorf Romantic then, I don't know. Dorf Romantic will be an option for my $3, $5, and $10 patrons about the second one of the month. Are there 5 Tuesdays next month? I know there are 5 Wednesdays. No, there are not 5 Tuesdays. Okay, that's right. Okay. I know there are 5 Wednesdays because I have to recommend 5 shows from this season for Kuma Baer, and it was easy. Some months I'm like, I don't know, about 5 instead of 4. No problems. It was harder to narrow things down. I did want to recommend things that were on like other services, not just. I didn't want to recommend 5 Crunchyroll shows, and so I think I did a good job with that. But anyway. I am going to end earlier than I normally would. We'll start with the new kit on Saturday, as I mentioned. My apologies for ending a little early, but yeah, I can feel it in my voice. I want to do vocal rest until Saturday and try to just get things back where they belong. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff. We have some options of some cool-ass people doing things on a Thursday. How long has this streamer been streaming? They have only been they're going an hour, so they should be good for a bit. That's always important to me. My dear friend Xandra is streaming. She is playing Mina the Hollower. Xandra's back, y'all. So we're going to go raid Xandra. Xandra made all of my emotes and is a dear friend that I wish I could see. But we live in different countries. And that makes things difficult. But thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Please come along on this raid. Xandra is lovely. You'll have a great time over there with her community. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern for a brand new model kit. Talk to you all soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye.